Hey, Kevin here, AAMCO of Bonita Springs, Auto and Truck Repair. So I'm here with Scott. Scott's our in-house transmission rebuilder, and I want to share a little information with you with what happened to a new customer of ours. And they have a Ford Escape. It has a 4-speed automatic transmission, and the issue they had was when it was driving down the road, they would be going through their first shift, so when they're standing still, you're in first gear, so it would go to make this shift into second gear and it would just rev up. So they would feather the pedal because they're in traffic, and they get a little excited because you got people coming at you, so they catch third gear. By the time it was ready to go into fourth gear, it would just rev up again as it shifted into fourth gear. So we interpret that information when someone comes in and they say, you know what, my car is doing XYZ. So we get all those notes and we let them know, okay, so we'll go ahead and investigate this. So we checked out the car and we determined the problem is inside the transmission, can't be fixed outside the transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Scott, and Scott can let you know what he found out, because when we pulled the transmission out of the vehicle, brought it into the build room here, this is where Scott takes over. And these are like big puzzles, so he takes them apart and he figures out what's wrong with it, and then we rebuild it so the customer can have a nice, perfectly functioning transmission. So I'm going to turn this over to Scott. Scott, you can kind of walk us through as far as what you do to take these things apart and how you found the problem.
Well, first off, this transmission has a 2-4 band. Right away I figured, oh, there's got to be an issue there. So I tore it all down. Sure enough, the band was broken. So that was the 2-4 issue. Actually, that band stops this drum in second and fourth. That's why it neutral. But now I got the drums tore apart here. I'm going to tear them down, put new clutches in there, and new solenoid block normally. Get one of those. And actually this one had a wore out chain. I got a new chain coming. When it's sitting in the case, there'll be a bunch of slack in the bottom. This one was just about rubbing on the case. It'll come down to this. Now it fits in there. Believe it or not, that's what drives your car. Right there. This end connects to all your clutches. This connects to your differential. This connects to your differential. And your front axle is plugged into here. So when you apply a clutch here, the engine drives this, and that turns your front wheels. So after a few miles, it'll tend to wear out. New torque converter, I'm known for torque converter issues. I got 2 valve updates that I'll do in this valve body. Got several valves here, several valves on this side. I'm going to pop a clip out of here and we'll ream these out, larger size. And then slide new valves in there. And that'll solve the converter issues on these.
Hey Scott, appreciate you walking us through this. There's so much that's involved in these. If you tore a transmission down to its finest part, you could easily have 200 to 300 pieces in here. When this all comes back together, okay, we're going to have the transmission that's completely assembled. It's going to go back into the car. We're going to run it through all the paces and do all of our final checks. With the years of experience that Scott has as a transmission rebuilder and technician in general, he almost can walk up to a transmission based on the symptoms that we give him and know many times, I think I know what the issue is. So this is like, each one's like a riddle for him. So when he gets it apart and he sees, like he showed us here, the band was broken, he knew that walking up to it. There's a standard set of parts you replace in here. Anything that's designed to wear gets replaced. So all the clutches, all the sealing rings, washers, things like that. There's known issues. Well, I'll give you an example here. So these are clutches, so these clutches all get replaced. Alrighty. If you think about an old car, a stick shift clutch car, right, you had a real big clutch and a real big pressure plate. Well, automatic transmissions have clutches, they're just a lot smaller. So when you stack all these up, it can almost equal as much area as what you had in one of those stick shift cars. So this will all be put back together with the new parts and things like that. We'll get it reinstalled into the vehicle, we'll drive it, we'll scan the computer system. As long as everything feels good, we do our final checks on it, and then it's ready to deliver to the customer.